Woo-wee! Vic got some smoke for her mama. NERDSoul. Late ill kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, breathe at StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people? Today, coming with another wonderful episode of On Screen NERDSoul Hip Hop Geek, putting it together and have a wonderful time. We got NERDSoul Light here, so we gonna do what we came to do, which is talk about Christmas Land, talk about Charlie Manx, talk about Big. Talk about Maggie and her crazy mama. Well, maybe she's not crazy. Maybe she just want what she wants. That's just how it is. But we're going straight to NOS4A2. And we want to catch up really quick before the new joint drops, because there's three things that I really want to talk about in this episode. First, I want to talk about Maggie. It's sad seeing the morning after and seeing how she deals with, of course, the sheriff essentially being taken and killed. Seeing her just kind of fall down this spiral down to just her lowest of lows. I mean, when Vic finds her, she's sleeping on a little bed outside behind a dumpster or something like that. Of course, she falls back into, the drugs and just very irreverent, well, no, not even dangerous behavior, because you don't know these people. Like, you just met this person 5 seconds ago. You can't be doing all this. But you see her sadly spiral down, but also be drawn back to, I guess, Vic to a certain degree, drawn back into the game. The tiles come back, which I think is cool. Her conversation with her mother doesn't go the way she wants it to go. And you see how low she goes because she calls her mom and like, can I come home? And her mom said, yo, if you come home, you got to follow my rules, which is fair. It's her house, it's her rules. Just like, when, I guess when Maggie have her house, she gonna have her rules. But she was like, look, drug test, because you have shown that you do have a propensity to, use drugs. Then also, she was like, no girls and church on Sunday. So, means that her mom probably is not down with her lifestyle. And if you ain't down with someone's lifestyle, regardless of what they live in, if you can't live with them, you can't live with them. Because if living with her will only make it bad for both of them. Because, mom would always have something to say. She would always be arguing back. It wouldn't be good, no way. But I do think the way she called her mom at that point in time, maybe it would have been good for mama to just be like, look, just come on home. I don't know what's going on right now, but I can hear it in your voice. You scared. Something got you scared. So you need to come home. But of course, if she came home, we wouldn't have the show. She wouldn't be getting back with it. So I guess you need that. I did want to jump on this real quick. Apparently, I haven't been out to the club in a while. As you can see, I have Lord NERDSoul Light. I don't need to be out at the club. I don't need to be at the bar. But apparently, you can go to the bar and point to somebody's tattoo and be like, oh, you get 11 points for that tattoo. And then she can be like, ooh, what about this tattoo? And next thing, y'all have butt naked kissing. All right. Maybe my Mac wasn't that strong. All right. Maybe it wasn't, because apparently you can just go to the club and say like 2 sentences, and next thing you don't know, y'all kissing to the music. I'll just let that slide. But seeing how low she is, I think this is going to be a great opportunity to see how she bounces back, because we have 3 episodes left. So we're going to see how she bounces back. And I think she's going to bounce back very strong in a very good way, because 1, she has to get revenge for the kid. 2, she has to get revenge for the sheriff. So, Maggie's got all the ammunition or all the pent up heat ready. Now we just see how she'll handle it when it comes to, of course, dealing with Charlie Manx and how she can help and assist Vic in that fight. So with that said, I'm glad Maggie's back. I want to see how she uses her tiles to help maneuver, her way. She found out the sheriff was dead. She gave Vic the kind of like the foresight or the plan or the plot, or kind of like what's going on between her mom and her bike and all that good stuff. So it seems like she's willing to come back, but we're going to need to bounce back fast, because I don't want to see her like this. So I'm glad she's back. Hopefully she bounces back in a very visceral way where she's ready to fight, because Charlie Manx gotta go down. Next, before the jump, I want to get into Bing. Bing is crazy. Bing is off, very off and dangerous, and he needs to go down now. Honestly, the whole thing where old boy, not Chris, but old boy wanted to take his bat and go, yo, look, I don't know why she stopped him. Bing is just a danger to anyone. Like, dude talked about killing his parents like it was nothing. Apparently, was down to take Vic out. Breaking in people's houses, drugging them, tying them up in the basement. He is a danger. Like, this is past, like, oh, well, maybe we'll let the cops sort it out. He gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where we need the Punisher to come through, because he gotta go. Like, you see in his house, he got to go. But that conversation with him and Vic really opened up my perception of him. Strangely, he sees what he's done as wrong, but not, I guess, as wrong as what his mother did, you know what I'm saying? Or what his father did. So it's somehow justified to him or something like that. Also being scared about Charlie Manx. He dead. Charlie Manx is going to kill him, and it can't come fast enough, because Bing is just a horrible person. Unfortunately, we always thought that he was like this lovable guy at the first episode, but now we know, like, man, look, he under the jail. But I was hoping that we would see Vic reach out to the detective, but we didn't. So I don't know where we go with Bing from here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what we do, really. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how we play it with him being out in the streets, breaking into her house, her knowing that he is stalking her, essentially. I would not feel safe whatsoever. So what is, what would you do? What would you do if you were Vic, you got out of that situation? Do you call the cops? Do you come back with a gun? What do you do? Because I don't see just letting that dude live like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bing has got, Bing has got to go. Now, with that said, we got one big thing I want to jump on right before the end with a caveat. But first, of course, KURO Brand is going to help us pay them bills.
This is Dejan Sneeve, creator of Sorghum and Spear, and you're watching NERDSoul.
Oh yeah, check that link below. Hats, shirts, hoodies, all that jazz. Once you find something you like, of course, cop it. Now we are really, really getting a good chance to deal with some family issues, which I like here. Last thing I want to talk about will be, of course, the family dynamic, but I want to jump on Parnassus real quick. This is an interesting place that opens up the villains of this world, the inscapes, the predators of this world, and it does a good job of letting us know that Charlie Manx is not the only guy out here doing crazy things. Also, it opens it up where we could essentially go after other people. But I did like when he walked up in this bar or whatever, I guess you call it a bar. When he walked up in the bar, you see everybody kind of getting out his way, I guess letting you know that he is like the top, inscape killer of all top inscape killers. But I like the lore that they build around this place. I would love to see more of that place or more of the interactions there and what it means to be someone there. That's a very interesting, dynamic to see. So I wanted to talk about that real quick. Parnassus is very interesting. I want to know if you know more about Parnassus. holla at me down in the comments. Let's talk about Parnassus because I am very intrigued. Kind of like the hotel in John Wick. It's just, I'm very interested about like this watering hole where all these people come together and how and why doesn't anybody know about it and you know, that kind of stuff. But with that said, we're gonna move right on. Lastly, I want to talk about Ma Dukes, Pops, and Vic. Vic gets accepted. Full ride scholarship, you know what I'm saying? And Ma Dukes has an issue. And we know why she has a problem, but I want to take this to look at a couple of things. The dad, I like the fact that he's coming around. Like you see, you know, mom is all upset. She's, you know, discouraged and disgruntled and she's at the party, you know, washing dishes. And, you know, she brought that little, you know, that little meat tray that you get like from Food Lion or Vons or Kroger or something. And she saw everybody with the Richie sandwiches, you know, them little bread that got the crust cut off. So she kind of hid her joint. So, you know, she's angry. And we already kind of get an idea, but we see why. And I like the entrance of Vic's father saying, you know, like, yo, you raised a good kid. Let her be a good woman. Like, essentially that conversation outside was like, look, you raised a good kid. Let her grow. Let her expand. Let her move on. You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't, like, this doesn't change her love for you or whatever. Just let her build and you know, continue to soar to higher heights. You know what I'm saying? And her mom is like truly struggling with this. Of course, coming home and seeing the stuff being brought out didn't help, but she was already on that BS, like, you know, you know what I'm saying? She was already on that BS, like, yo, I don't want you going nowhere because, you know, we ain't smart enough or, you know, we ain't supposed to be happy or ain't supposed to go to college. And that's simply BS. I want to take a second out to say this to you that you might be watching and, you know, it might be your brother, it might be your dad, might be your mom, your sister, your best friend, whatever. They don't want you to move on. Here's the thing I want to say in this story. Vic going to RISD, even though you know how I feel about college, I've said it in the episodes before this, but her going to RISD or her leaving to go to college is not something she's doing to you, meaning her mother. It's not something she's doing to her mother, but something she's doing for herself. You know, she's not trying to punish her mother. She's trying to take her talents and her passion and her love and see where it might carry her. It has nothing to do with kind of like demeaning or degrading or turning your back on her. So with that said, if someone is trying to treat you the way that Vic's mom treated her, move on. Because that person will always be that way and you cannot change them. You have to live your life. Vic has to live her life. Now, I don't know if Vic will be able to go to RISD because she got people to kill. But with that said, you have to live your life for you. Vic's mom lived her life, regardless of the choice she made. You know what I'm saying? Vic's mom chose to live her life. Now she got to live hers. You know what I'm saying? She can't stay back and live her life for her mother because all that's going to do is create resentment. Now that's a little gem drop for you and a woo for you. But with that said, I love the show. We got like 3 episodes left, so I am primed to see the rest of this. I think we got some good stuff going, and I really want to see how Bing ends up, how Charlie Manx ends up. I'm glad the team is back together. I am hyped. So holla at me. I'm gonna holla at you. Down in them comments, let's talk NOS4A2. I'm ready. I'm ready for this. The show started where I was like, yo, Vic got to step her game up, and I feel like she is. So before I bounce, I'm going to tell you guys to hit up ThatNERDSoul.com. That's right. Check me out right there. All my videos from the oldest, newest, latest, greatest, and all that. Then hit up shop.ThatNERDSoul.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt, player. Don't forget to get one for them playettes. Then come back here, like, comment, subscribe, and share that NERDSoul. That's right. There's no better way that I can show people that you like what you are watching. So, LA, what up? VA, what up? RVA, you got my heart. And please be good to each other. Please be good to yourselves. And don't forget, whenever you leave your house, lock everything and turn the alarm on. Peace.